What's up, everybody? It's Bobby, and we are back in a brand new location. We're here at our brand new studios at Funan, which is not a new mall in Singapore, but it's been revamped. We've got a lot of cool tech shops around here, a lot of great camera shops. If you haven't, we actually have a video on our YouTube channel. You can check that out. Mel, who is one of our hosts, she's actually kind of giving you a walk around right through Funan. Some really cool shops, and we're gonna be taking some of the products and reviewing them later on throughout the year. But anyway, we're here to talk about a product. Actually, the shop is right over there, Bose, because we've got with us the Bose Frames, and of course, a preview of the Bose NC700s. Anyway, I do want to put a disclaimer because I always want to be honest with you guys. I was asked to attend the Bose event. I was provided the glasses from attending the event, but this review is our thoughts and our thoughts only. Bose has no say about what I say about these frames. So let's get down talking about the all-new Bose Frames. Okay, so let's talk about the frames, but before we do, we gotta talk about wearable eyeglasses and a little bit about the history of it. Now, a few years back, I actually had the privilege of owning the Google Glass from the Explorer program. I bought the Google Glass, I brought the titanium frames because I wear prescription glasses, and they were cool. A little cyber, a little Terminator-ish, but there's a lot of potential in them, and they weren't that comfortable, but they worked relatively well. Now, however, I received that email that fateful morning or afternoon, depending on what part of the world you were in, when Google decided to cancel that. So $2,000 of my hard-earned money basically became a paperweight. Google, I'm still a little upset by that. You could at least offered us a Google Play credit. Anyway, so luckily there was eBay, sold them off, and I was a little apprehensive about having wearable glasses because I thought to myself, look, if Google burned me that time, what's gonna happen the next? Anyway, Bose came out a few years later, of course, with the Bose Frames, but Bose is very interesting in what they're doing. Now, they have the Soundwear, which we reviewed a while ago, which is sort of that speaker that you wear around your neck, and it worked really well. I really enjoyed that. It's great for like doing housework or being in the office, and you can take phone calls, you can listen to music, and you can still have your ears not covered so you can talk to anybody, you can hear everything around you. So when the frames came about, I was very interested in these, and they were launched in the US before they came to Singapore. They just came out in Singapore a few weeks ago, sold out, but I wanted to talk to you guys about them. Anybody that has any questions about them, thought I'd answer some of those for you. So when I got my hands on the frames, I was pleasantly surprised. Now, I'm an eyeglass junkie. I have about over 150 pairs of eyeglasses. It's a little crazy, I know, but I like my eyewear. Sunglasses, vintage frames, you name it, I pretty much have it. And I was pleasantly surprised by the build quality and the fit of the frames. Now, Bose comes in two flavors. You've got the Rondos, which are more of that kind of classic vintage all over people's vibe to them. Then you've got the Alto, which is more of that Wayfarer vibe to it. Now, the Wayfarer version, or we say the Alto, is a little bit larger than the Rondo. We'll talk about Fitment in just a second, but just to sort of give you the layout of it. If you've got a smaller face like me, the Rondo is gonna be where you live. If you got a larger head, you're gonna be looking at the Altos. Anyway, design-wise, they look like normal glasses. Check these things out, right? I mean, for the most part, you wouldn't know that there's speakers inside of these. You wouldn't know that these are like tech glasses at all. They look like everyday sunglasses. Good build quality. They're very light as well, which is important because when you're wearing speakers relatively in the temples of your eyeglasses, you're gonna think that these are quite heavy, but they're not. They're actually very light. But then let's talk about the usage of these, because you're thinking to yourself, okay, right, now we've got speakers in my eye frames, how am I gonna use these damn things, right? Actually, there's a lot of usages for them, and they work really, really well. First, let's clear something out of the way for a lot of you who are thinking that this is bone conduction technology. It is not. These are actual speakers in the temples of these frames, and you can actually see it right here, speaker and speaker, okay? That's inside of the frame. On both of these, it's the same exact concept. So when you put them on, okay, like this, I push this gold button, it tells my battery, and then it connects to my phone, whatever I have right away. It's an instant connectivity to it, it works wonderful. But now we gotta get into the sound quality, because how do these things sound? And I'm gonna tell you, I was actually very surprised, because when I had the Google Glass, it was that bone conduction, and it sounded like, it was okay, not too bad. These sound much better than you would think. You actually have to try them on and to actually experience it. It gives you a bigger sound stage. And Bose is known for these bigger sound stages because when we have the Bose Soundwear on it actually sounded like you were sort of in a theater. And these actually have that sound stage where it's kind of like, I would say like this area around you, that's what it feels like when you're listening to them. Now, of course, there's different volumes you can take. Of course, you can go from the lowest volume setting to all the way to the maximum volume. I will tell you this, when you're at 50%, nobody's really gonna hear the speakers around you. But when you're at 100%, yeah, you're gonna get some of that exterior noise coming into play, and people will be like, are you listening to something? Yes, but it sounds really, really good. You got good bass, you got good trebles, good mids. It's a nice, clean sound. It's that Bose sound that we all like. If you like it or don't like it, it all depends on your ears, but I like it personally. It sounds really good. Also, with the Bose Frames, you can take phone calls, which is a blessing, especially if you're walking down the street and you're like just sitting here like this and just chilling out, blah, blah, blah. The phone call, tap the gold button underneath, or you can answer it on your phone and you can talk because it actually has microphones into the eyewear. Now, you might look a little bit crazy because you're talking and just talking to yourself with eyeglasses on. So if you're in a public area, people will look at you a little off. It happened to me many, many times, but I'm kind of used to people looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm always testing tech gear and some of it's a little off, but actually these work relatively well and people can hear me loud and clear. But let's talk about battery life for a second here. Battery life on these is good. You get about 3.5 hours streaming if you're streaming from beginning to end. But of course, I don't know about you, but I don't listen to music for 3.5 hours solids. I use them for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I take them off, so forth. And they last a very long time because there's a great standby battery life on this. Now, the cool thing about these glasses is that let's say you're streaming music and you want to stop. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can press this gold button here underneath to power off, or I can simply do this. And when I do this, the music stops and the glasses go to sleep. But anyway, that's the cool thing about it because it does make it a lot easier. So if you're on the go, you're like, did I turn it off, did I not? As long as it's like this on the table, it's asleep, no issues at all. Now, one of the other cool things about the Bose Frames in terms of audio is actually there's an AR app that you can download. It's a separate app. And what this allows is, now, augmented reality is kind of the in thing right now. So what you can be doing is you can be listening to a concert when you're through the app, and you'll be hearing the strings and the drums and the horns, and they'll be in each of the respective locations. And as you turn around, the music is just still in the same area, so it's like you're at a real concert. It's a bit surreal, and obviously the audio quality is really good out of this app. You can try it, it's a free download to try it out if you have the Bose Frames. But that's sort of the future, what Bose wants to do with these frames. It's not just about music and phone calls, but is augmented reality. I mean, who knows if this AR stuff is gonna work in the future? I don't know, the jury's still out on it, but it is pretty damn cool. And these work relatively well with it. So could these be good for gaming? Possibly, who knows? Play a little Battlefront, boom, Bose Frames, never know. But now let's talk about fitment, because this is where the Bose Frames are a little tricky. And you gotta kind of know how glasses fit to you, and you actually gotta try these on. I mean, I would never recommend ordering these online without trying them on in a Bose shop first, because we all have different head shapes. Unless you're like me and you know exactly the millimeter size of your bridge and your temples and the width of your face, it can be a little bit hairy. I have a very small head, okay? The Rondos fit me very well, very snug, temple size. You can see there's a little bit of a gap here, but it fits relatively well. And it grabs very well in the back here. Now, for those who are wondering, there is a little bit of a grip here on the temple side of this. You can probably see it right here. And that kind of helps with grip. And you cannot like heat these up and bend these in like you can with normal frames. You cannot do that. So it fits as it comes out of the box. But the Rondos fit a lot of people very well. But let's try the Altos, because the Altos, I love the design of the Altos, but unfortunately, they're a little big for me. See, as you can tell, these are a little bit larger on my face. Bending down, see there's a lot more gap here. Now they fit well on my nose bridge here because I have a Caucasian nose bridge, so it works relatively well. If you're an Asian who has maybe a flatter nose bridge, you might have a problem with the Altos. The Rondos might be better suited for you, but I'll talk about that in just a second. But as you can see overall, it's a larger frame. I have heard that Bose might come out with a smaller version of the Alto for people that, like myself, that it's too big for. But there's been no confirmation that's gonna happen or not. But as a whole, the Rondos for me better, but I really love the design of the Altos. I just love this squarish design. It looks amazing. But besides that, let's talk about that Asian fitment for a second, because these are available worldwide. And I live in Singapore, and I've had a lot of my friends who are Asian try these on, and some fit them well, and some have a problem with it. Now, I have talked to Bose about this, and they said that they are possibly working on an Asian fit Bose frames that will, alleviate that problem. But in the meantime, I would say, just to be safe, I would say if you have a flatter nose bridge, that the Rondos might suit you more, because this is a very narrow nose bridge for your frames on this. But you're thinking probably at this point in time, I've got nothing to complain about the Bose frames. They sound good, they fit well for me, they look good. So what are my issues with them? Actually, I only have pretty much one issue with the Bose frames. And my one issue is that these are sunglasses, and Bose actually sells extra lenses to put into these different colors. I have the blue gradient here in the Rondos. But the moment you put a non-Bose lens into the frames, let's say it's a prescription lens, you void the warranty. It's very funny because they show you how to take the lenses out. It's basically like this. It's a pop out like that, right? Pop out like that, right? Very easy. But if I put prescription lenses in them, the warranty's voided. It's gone. And this is what strikes me very odd that Bose did this. And maybe, of course, I understand if someone pushes too hard and it breaks the frame, then, there could be a lot of warranty issues. But here's the thing. If I'm in my office, or at home, or I'm inside, I can't wear sunglasses unless I'm a rock star, I'm Kanye West, or I have maybe a vision issue. I have to wear eyeglasses. And these would be amazing to use in your day-to-day life, because I could be like this talking to you, and I could get my messages. Let's say if a message comes in, I would get notification, I could listen to music, I could take a phone call, and it wouldn't be odd. But if I'm in my office, and I'm sitting here like this on the computer, and my boss comes in, and I'm like, yo, what's up? What's up? I look like a schmuck. But anyway, there's been a lot of chatter on the Bose forums internationally. Bose is aware of this. They are trying to find a way that they can work around this. I think it'll probably come out with very soon, even maybe you might hear in a few weeks or a few months. But Bose, if you're watching this review, and I hope you are, because I'm a big fan of these frames, I think they're fantastic. You really got to fix the prescription issue, because these are a phenomenal product if you could wear them indoors. There's so much usage for them. And finally, we have to talk about the big thing that has got a lot of people talking about the Bose frames, and that is the price. Bose is not known to make inexpensive products, right? A lot of their audio products are pretty much up there in terms of price. But man, Bose delivered on the price of these things. In Singapore, these are 299 Singapore dollars, which is roughly 199 US dollars. For a pair of frames, sunglasses that have great speakers in them, can take phone calls with them, AR built into this thing. It's pretty impressive. You gotta give it to Bose on this, because when they announce these things, I'm thinking to myself, okay, at least 400 to 500 Singapore dollars, because if you got, of course, you got the headphones, and you've got, a lot of the things that they have out there that's in that price range. And as a result, Bose is selling a lot of these things. As a matter of fact, when they launched in Singapore, man, they were gone like that. And you got to think about it. I mean, when you put it in perspective, right? A pair of Ray-Bans is about this price or even more. A pair of Oakleys can be more than this. So Bose frames at this price is actually really, really good. I mean, what can you say? 299 Singapore dollars for these kind of frames? It's a winner. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Bose frames, but I got a little bonus for you here. And that bonus is, I got another Bose product that is coming to the market in the US very soon, Asia later on this year. That is the Bose NC700 headphones. That's right. These are the all-new headphones, noise canceling headphones. They're not replacing the QC35s. They're actually an upgrade to the QC35s. I have the QC35s here as well. And just to give you a sneak preview to these, I will tell you, they fit beautifully. They're comfortable, well built, and the noise canceling. But anyway, if you want to see a full review on these headphones or comparison, hit me up in the comments section below and I will do that for you. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Bose Frames, the NC700s. When they come out, you gotta try them. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. We appreciate all your comments, your thoughts, your feedback. Follow us on Facebook. Welcome to the new studio at Funan here at Tech 360. I'm Bobby Tonelli. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.